Well, hey and welcome back to another IC82 video. This is part 2 of the Batman coach that we're working on. You may have already seen part 1, I hope you've seen part 1, if you've not please do go check it out. But part 1 was where we stripped the roof off this coach and we fitted a lighting strip to it. Part 2 is going to be putting bums on seats, basically. I did go over it in part 1, but there was just so much to talk about and so much to do, so much to focus on, that I thought it's probably best to split it into 2 videos. Plus you'll get people coming along searching for specifically how to put people in coaches, and you'll get people searching specifically for how to fit lighting. So I thought I'll split it up. So there we have our Batman Mark 1 coach. As you can see, it's all illuminated inside because it's all motion sensitive. So I need to take the roof off that again by pulling the metal bits out at the sides, flipping the roof off, laying the roof down to one side, and then putting some people in the seats. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, or if you don't want to watch it because you're not interested in lighting or whatever, there's 2 types of bums on seats, 2 types of people you can have sat on in your coaches. This is the big value pack where basically none of the people are painted, and it does represent excellent value, but of course you've got to invest a lot of time painting them all. So that's one thing, that's a future project. But these are what I'm going to be using today. These are pre-painted and they're a brilliant little selection of people, really. We've got all ages, we've got like a couple of younger ones and a couple of old grannies reading papers and holding bags and stuff. So that's perfect, I think. So I'm going to put those on the seats of this particular coach. Now, how am I going to glue them? How am I going to affix them to the seats? Well, I'm not going to glue them. I don't think you should glue them. I definitely don't recommend putting poly cement, which melts plastic. Here we go. I definitely don't recommend using that and melting the plastic until they're stuck in place. It's also pretty permanent. It's not permanent. I can just see somebody in the comments now saying, actually, you can take it off again. Yes, you can, but it makes a mess. Okay, it's really not very good. It's not recommended. So what I will be using instead is tacky wax. I'll show it you later. It's a fantastic little product. It's strong enough to just keep everything in place, but it's flexible enough to allow you to take it off and move it around again if you want to. I have talked about it in previous videos. So I'm going to get these packs open, get the roof off this coach, go get my tacky wax, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, I've taken the roof off the coach. There we have the Mark 1 coach, and that's the roof with the strip lighting on, all lit up. There's nothing I can do about that. I could take the battery out, I suppose. Well, yeah, I could, except, to be honest, there's no real need. All I need to do is to just carefully put it down to one side, and then so long as it doesn't receive any more vibrations or anything, it should just go off, and we'll leave it alone. Now, you can see all the modifications I had to make to the compartments, the chunk of plastic that forms the compartments. I basically had to cut all of the tops of them off, and then I had to cut them even more away at this end in order to make room for the battery. But you don't see that. You only see that when the roof is off, so it's not a problem. But there's absolutely plenty of seats there, and in fact, the coach isn't going to look too busy with just those people in it, but it will look better than having no people at all, so it's definitely progress. And you know, these packs they're not cheap, really. They're about £7 each or something like that. It depends where you get them from. So it's such a big and expensive hobby, isn't it? This is something that you can do in stages. You know, you don't have to get all of your coaches equipped with people all in one go, because that would cost about £20,000. You can do something like this in increments. You can do little bits here and there, just whenever you want. Some people don't even bother, okay? Some people will never ever bother. But I want to, because with it lit up I think it's going to look much better. And I know a lot of people out there will want to see how it's done. So here we have our little boxes of people, our little packs of people. I can't tilt it too much, otherwise they're just gonna fall over all over the place. But there we go. There's all those there. A lovely granny at the end holding a clutching her bag, holding on to it for dear life. And then we've got, and this is my favourite, there's a guy here, cross-legged, reading what I can only assume must be the Telegraph or something. I'm not too sure. But then these are all German, aren't they? That is something I need to very, very quickly talk about. You will have noticed, you may have even already commented, that their HO scale, they are 1 to 87. And that's not a problem. That totally isn't a problem. Because the people are ever so slightly smaller, you can easily fit them into cabs of locomotives, easily fit them into seats of coaches and carriages and things. I was talking to Richard, the guy at Trident Trains, where I got them from, and he says that the figures being HO is totally not an issue. I mean, the difference between people, you know, from one scale to another is very, very minimal anyway. It's not as noticeable as it is with a locomotive. You know, people come in all different shapes and sizes, but it does just help. He was going on about how it's easier to fit them into seats, especially, I mean, this coach is really big and spacious, as you can see. There's plenty of room in that, but some coaches are tighter, some coaches are smaller, have less room, and especially if you're trying to put them into the cabs of locomotives, it can be a really tight squeeze. So the fact that they're HO people, it really isn't a problem. In fact, it may even help it. Now, how are we going to fix them? You remember I mentioned tacky wax, and there it is. It's by Deluxe Materials. It really is brilliant stuff. You can see there's absolutely loads of it left. It does, well, no, it's still really sticky. I was going to say it can lose some of its stickiness if it gets really, really cold. Does it say anything about that? Wax adhesive for holding miniatures in place, allows repositioning, remove with warm water and soap. No, it doesn't. But I've noticed that when it gets really, really cold, it can lose a little bit of its stickiness. However, it seems absolutely fine at room temperature. That feels nice and sticky. And then the great thing about it, as it said on the lid, is that you can reposition it. It's not permanent, but it's fantastic for fitting any detail. You can even use it for fitting lamp hooks onto the front of a Class 37. It's that good. It's also pretty much transparent, so it's not easy to see. The best way to apply it, just reach across to the back there, is with a cocktail stick. All I do is take one of these cocktail sticks, and then I just either snap or cut the end off, so that I've got a nice little shovel almost. And then basically all you do is you just collect some up on the end of the cocktail stick like that, just a little dollop, and then basically you can either smear that directly onto the seat, or what I would recommend is to smear it directly onto this lady's bum. So there she is. She looks like a lovely little lady, again clutching onto a bag as if someone's going to steal it, and all we need to do is to just wipe her bum. Do you know, I never thought I'd be doing this. I never thought, I mean, this is basically a Facebook status, isn't it? I'm up in the middle of the night smearing glue onto an old lady's bum. There you go. What do you make of that? So, there we go. This little dear, who we'll call Doris. Doris has got glue all over her bum. Well, tacky wax. And now I'm going to just grab Doris's head with some pliers, but it's okay, she won't mind, because she's made of plastic. There we go. So I've got Doris in some pliers, and then I'm going to grab the coach and then pick a seat. Where shall I put Doris? We'll put her by the window. There. And then we'll just reposition her slightly, because it looks like she's drunk. It's like she's had one or too many. There. Oh no. Yeah, that's okay. It looks like she's leaning into the window. Maybe she is. Maybe she's just admiring the scenery, or she's missing her daughter that she's left behind at university. Who knows? So, there we go. Doris is in place. There you go. You can just about see her. Sat, and look how good it is. See, she will not move now. Yeah, if I wanted to, I could just grab her by the head with those pliers again, and she'll happily sit somewhere else. And gosh, it even looks like she's looking out of the window. Look at that. Now, knowing me, I've gone and probably put her in one of the compartments that's not lit, because that's completely random. you'll see if you do watch part 1 that because of the way the compartments are and the way that the lighting strip works, some of the compartments are lit and some of them aren't. But it's really, really easy to just grab your lighting strip like this, lay it over the top of the coach, make sure you've got the ends right, and I can check that in a second by looking at where the little metal hooks go, the little metal pieces of wire. But basically you just need to lay it on the top there and see how well it's lit up. And as you can see there, if that is the correct way, and I think it is, Doris is actually very, very well illuminated there. So that's brilliant. I just think it adds a real touch to it, I really do. There's no need for me to bore you to tears as I put all of these people in and give them names as well, which I have to do, because that's just me. So I will stop recording for a moment, get all these people in position, all of them, and then we'll continue. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, and we're back. The boxes are empty, as you can see. All the people have been put into the place, into their places. I've used exactly 0.001 grams of this tacky wax. Seriously, I think this tub is going to last me a lifetime. I don't know, but we'll see. And all the people are in their seats. There we go. So if I grab the lighting strip and then put that back in place, and I don't need to look at the pieces of metal wire, I know which way it's supposed to go. The battery goes at this end here where I've had to cut loads of it out. So I won't worry about putting the metal piping exactly into spot just yet. We'll get the coach roof down first. There we go. It's just held in by a series of clips. There we go, just check it's down at the ends. Yep, seems fine to me. Look at that. Can you see all those people? I just think that's brilliant. I paid particular attention to make sure that this compartment here is left empty because it's not lit, and that compartment is left empty because it's very poorly lit. So it's kind of like there is a bulb in there, but it's not working very well or something. But look, there's like a proper conversation going on in that one. You've got some man leaning on his knees whilst his mother-in-law opposite is having a go at him for, I don't know, maybe not doing the gardening or something. And then we've got a couple of people in the end, which I must admit is a bit odd because that compartment's not very well lit. I should maybe have put them in the other one, but when I put it on it seemed like it was okay. Oh, never mind. Maybe they just want it dark. Yeah, so we've got a couple of people in that end one down there, and I particularly like the look on that woman's face as she just gazes out of the window. And then we've got a couple here, an elderly couple in this compartment. They've fallen out, which is why they're sat at opposite ends of the compartment. They're not talking, it's the tension's high in that compartment. And then we've got Doris, of course, with an old man reading the paper. We've got a mother and daughter in this compartment down here, just there. They're on their way to the zoo or something. And then in this compartment down here we've got just a couple of mates, 2 girls, 2 women on their way to the shops or something like that, having a good day out. So that's it. That's just 2 little sets of people, and it's basically made that coach look like it's full. Well, it's not full obviously, but it's brought it to life. I think it really has complemented the strip lighting. So if you can imagine that parked up, you know, in a platform in a station with loads of others, and they're all illuminated, and they've all got people sat in them, that is going to look fantastic. Really, really is. So there we go. The lighting is obviously on at the moment because it's been moved around, but that should switch itself off in about 4 minutes. I'm going to go put it back down onto the layout, and then I might go and get some sleep. Thank you for watching.